No American league has ever done this before. Not football, not baseball, not even the NBA itself. But now, that might change. What the NBA is trying to do next goes way beyond expansion. Picture this. You walk into an arena in Paris, the lights go out, and the crowd roars as the London Lions take the floor against the Lakers. Giannis versus Wembanyama, Europe versus America, history versus ambition. Now this isn't any more a fantasy. The NBA is building something the world's never seen, a 16-team league backed by FIBA, global investors, and Europe's biggest sporting names. This is Adam Silver's boldest dream yet, and it might change basketball forever. This is NBA Europe. Now this plan didn't just pop out of nowhere. The NBA has been flirting with the idea of a European division for decades. In fact, it all started with David Stern, the man who's transformed the NBA into a global brand. Back in the 1990s and early 2000s, Stern was obsessed with taking basketball international. He once said he wanted NBA games to be played everywhere from China to Europe, and in 2013, he even predicted that within 20 years we'd see an NBA European division. 2 decades later, and the NBA is finally ready to make it happen. Earlier this year, the NBA and FIBA announced plans for a new league in Europe. After years of rumors and meetings, it's finally real, and the league is expected to start in October 2027. Here's what's on the table: a 16-team league with 12 permanent franchises and 4 qualification spots. The permanent teams will be backed by wealthy ownership groups, and they're eyeing major cities. We're talking London, Manchester, Paris, Lyon, Madrid, Barcelona, Rome, Milan, Berlin, Munich, Athens, and Istanbul. Those are markets with both basketball history and business muscles. The other 4 teams? They'd qualify through FIBA's Basketball Champions League or top-tier domestic leagues, keeping a little of that European sporting spirit alive. NBA Europe Managing Director Jorge Avazalo even called 2027 a semi-opening. Translation: not all 16 teams might be ready, but the league's going live anyways. Now here's where it gets serious. The NBA brought in JP Morgan Chase and Rain Group, the same financial giants behind massive global sports deals, to structure the money and ownership. Sponsorship in European sports hit over $25 billion in 2024. If NBA Europe pulls even a fraction of that, each franchise could be worth $500 million or more within a few years. For context, that's what mid-tier NBA teams were valued at a decade ago. The NBA is also in talks with European powerhouses like Real Madrid and Barcelona, all of which already run successful basketball programs. And even global football brands like Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City are exploring involvement. They already have massive audiences. But why Europe and why now? Because this is where the future of basketball is being written. Today, roughly 1 out of every 6 NBA players comes from Europe. They're from Serbia, Greece, Slovenia, and France. Europe's running the show. Together, they won 5 of the last 7 MVP awards. Then there's Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, and Domantas Sabonis, all European. And the fans, they've gone global too. NBA social media engagement in Europe has doubled since 2020. Games in Paris and London sell out in hours. When the NBA hosted preseason games in Abu Dhabi and Paris, European viewership hit record highs. That's why Commissioner Adam Silver calls NBA Europe the biggest growth opportunity in all of sports. Now here's the part everyone's watching. It's still unclear when the NBA will make anything official, but there's one event that could be the stage. In mid-January, the Orlando Magic and Memphis Grizzlies are heading to Berlin and London for back-to-back international games. And many believe that's when the league will finally drop big news. Maybe the official launch date or even the first set of franchises. The trip feels way too timed to be coincidence. So how does this fit into Europe's current basketball ecosystem? Right now, EuroLeague and FIBA's Championship League dominate the scene. They've built loyal fan bases, fans who bled for clubs like Panathinaikos, Partizan, or Real Madrid. European sports culture is built on earning your place, not buying it. The NBA system is the opposite. Franchises pay for permanent spots, no relegation, no demotion, and that's where tension begins. When the European Super League tried to shake up football in 2021, fans shut it down in 2 days. They showed up outside stadiums chanting, holding signs, They weren't having it. For them, football wasn't something you could turn into a closed business. Now basketball's heading in a similar direction. The NBA wants to expand into Europe. New teams, new fans, more money. But here, fans aren't just spectators. History and loyalty aren't built overnight. That's where FIBA comes in, because we actually heard President Jorge Garbajosa say, the NBA won't do anything in Europe without us. That partnership could make all the difference. With millions of European fans already watching big NBA games, success here depends on getting it right. The upside? A new path for European players. Young talent from Poland, Turkey, or Greece could stay home and still get NBA level exposure. More scouts, more visibility, more money in the local system. The downgrade? The NBA Europe pulls the top clubs and stars away. Their EuroLeague could suffer. Sponsors might follow the bigger brand, and smaller clubs could lose funding. And there are real logistical challenges too. Salary caps, player contracts, and even draft rules could all clash with European laws. That's what the NBA's lawyers are working through right now. When you look at the bigger picture, the idea is simple. Basketball is already Europe's second most popular sport, but it still makes less than 1% of the continent's $45 billion sports market. That market is still unclaimed, and the NBA doesn't want to wait for competition. NBA Europe gives the league a new market to grow in, a new way to make money, and a chance to bring its system straight to European fans. If the NBA's 2027 plan goes as expected, Europe becomes a long-term part of the league's structure. And however the rollout plays out, 2027 will tell us how far the NBA is willing to take the sport globally.